people there. Great, great, great. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Christelle Martinette, as if you didn't know. Listen, I know that you're here for our guest, and she's waiting in the other room. So let me first give you a little bit of information, and I'll do it again tomorrow. Um, a while back, when I was doing, I think it was a channeling video, something to do with energy in any case. Um, Afterwards, I got an email from a subscriber and he told me that he said, I created these healing rods. I think you would really be able to use them. And then he sent them to me, and he sells them on on Amazon. And so I, tried them, and I wanted to show you them, and I'll put the link of to that product. I'm not making any money on this, so this is just to give you a heads up. I will be talking about it tomorrow on my healing video. This is a little bag. It comes in a little bag like this, and they're healing rods that are fashioned after what is called ancient, let's say, Egyptian healing rods. And you'll find Egyptian healing rods on the internet for about $350, for $450, and it's exact same thing practically. This is bronze. This is some form of metal. I really don't know. And inside there's crystal quartz. And what do they do? I've been trying them. I've held them for a while, and practically every day I do heal them. They heal against pain. Basically, it's pain. But what I found, because I never have pain, touch wood, they say. I'm not a person who has pain, but what it does do is work as an anti-inflammatory agent. So that is at the basis of all kinds of diseases. So that's interesting. So that's enough of that. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. We have Sofia Elena from Mindful Bliss Tribe. I'm going to introduce her right now. There you are. Hello, Sofia.
Hi.
Hi. So glad that you could be here. So just a
Thank
few
you.
minutes for me to introduce you and how I came across you.
Yeah.
I have an Instagram, like all of us, we have an Instagram profile or account. And I was looking through other people and what they do. And one day, because you get a feed and you see other people's feeds, and you go watch their feeds, and then you see their friends. And I found Sofia Elena. I found Mindful Bliss Tribe, really. It was called Mindful Bliss Tribe. But what was so interesting, because I always use Instagram with my phone. So, the phone is just that big. You can't get such a big screen. And you see three pictures. It's sort of three pictures, three pictures, three pictures, three pictures. And it was first time. It was like a checkered board, because she would have a post that would be in white with something written, then a post that would be in dark, then white, then dark, then white. And it was as if she planned it so perfectly. And I thought, my, she's got this chick knows what she's doing. She's very balanced. Yeah. So I got in touch with her, and I told her about this playlist, this interview session that I do once a month. And she agreed to come on, and we spoke a little bit. Now, I don't want to talk anymore, but we have, Sophia, you may not be able to see it, but you'll be able to see the questions when I put them across the
Okay.
screen. Okay. So there are about 20 people in with us, and they might be ready to ask questions. But first, let me get the ball rolling this way, then you can ask her questions. Okay, well, where are you talking from? Where are you located now?
I am in Tampa, Florida.
Okay, so you're on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And tell us about the type of work you do.
So I do energy work. I do sound healing. I do spiritual mindset coaching one-on-one with my clients. I also do virtual meditations and in-person meditations as well when I do in-person workshops, which
Well, the name
could,
Mindful Bliss Tribe, I'm thinking, from what you're saying in the name, I'm thinking, where did that come from?
it just came to me it just came to me. It's hard to explain. In 2015, I had been going through a rough time, and I just felt like there was something calling me, something more to do um, for people. And I don't know, it was just this calling.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like spirit, something just came into my mind and it was like Mindful Bliss Tribe. I can't explain how it came to me.
Okay.
Yeah, it just appeared.
Well, um, there was also when we met, we talked. You did tell me of a place you went. It was probably linked to that rough patch that you were experiencing, but it was really important in relation to
Yes.
what you do today. Maybe
Yes.
you could tell us about it. I don't want you to get into too personal things, but it was really interesting for me to hear. It would be interesting, I think, for my for followers to hear as well.
For sure. So in 2018, the summer of 2018, again, I was going through a rough patch, and my best friend Camilla, she was really my rock, and
Mm-hmm.
she had told me about Sedona for a long time. She had been
Uh-huh.
mentioned Sedona and the healing that Sedona offers, and I was sort of already on that path, and I had already come up with Mindful Bliss Tribe a couple years before. And anyways, she had taken me there and introduced me to her spiritual guru, which is what we love
Ah,
to call her,
okay.
Vanya. She lives in Sedona, and she brought me to her, and it was really a life-changing trip. We were
Mm-hmm.
only there, I think, 4 days.
Yeah.
But really, I pinpoint it to that time that she literally told me, it's like I didn't have a choice. She's like, I'm taking you. We're going to Sedona, and it was a
Wow.
pivotal point, yeah, for my healing journey, but also for Mindful Bliss Tribe and for growing it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Because
yeah,
you hadn't opened that before?
I had it right. I had the idea. I had my website up.
Yeah.
I just hadn't really fine tuned
Yeah.
exactly what I knew. I wanted to help people. I knew that I had a story to tell, and I knew I had a lot of healing and light to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just kind of messy in my head. I couldn't quite
Yeah.
get it fine tuned. And after she took me to Sedona and I came back, it was just everything was crystal clear. And
Oh,
ever since then, it's been growing and it's been
great.
amazing. Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Um,
Yeah.
I have to tell everyone, and please forgive me, Sofia Elena, that when I spoke to her, she was very shy. Yeah, I thought she was going to say no. She didn't want to come on camera. But that's way in the past. That's 3 months ago. So I'm so
Yeah.
happy you got over
Whole new
that.
world now.
Yeah, yeah. Let me ask you, because a lot of people in my question and answer sessions that are open questions and they ask questions, I answer. Many of them, I mean, I'll say 70% ask me, um, I know I'm meant to do healing. I know I am meant to do something special. Okay, what am I
Mhm.
meant to do? And so, I give them some kind of a, but the interesting part is that healing comes in different forms and shapes, right?
Mhm.
Um, could you talk about that a little bit? Because do you sort of pinpoint one type of service or act or thing that you do, specialization, to a specific thing that what works best for what? I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that with the work that I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
work a lot mostly with women. I mean, I do have men that come on to my now that I've been doing the virtual meditations, and it's been really great having the dynamics and everything.
Well,
Um,
what are the virtual meditations? Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that, and don't forget where you are in the
yeah,
story. Go ahead.
yeah, no, for sure. So, since we got into the quarantine and got into this lockdown, um, I had never even thought about doing virtual. I didn't
Ah,
think that this was something I could kind of move into virtual. I like to be in person and do my healing, and I feel like I can channel the energy. But at the end of the day, energy is energy, and
right.
we can channel it anywhere. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, so when I started the virtual meditations, I've had people come in from all over the our country, through the United States and out of the country as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been really great to connect everyone, and the healing that occurs has been so beautiful
Mm-hmm. So you get a
to
lot of
witness. And
feedback.
it's,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I've been getting really amazing feedback. I've had repeat, people coming on I do it every other weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have one tomorrow night, and
Good.
anybody can sign up. You can, look at my Instagram at Mindful Bliss Tribe.
Good.
But yeah, it's been really
Good.
great.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so going back, the going virtual and then going, the healing, and what type of healing for what type of issue?
Sure. So the healing work, I feel like everybody that comes to me, and I like, the name is Mindful Bliss Tribe, and it really is a tribe.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like since I started this, everybody that gathers and that comes to me, it's so beautiful how it's the tribe coming together.
Yeah.
It's the universe that's bringing this beautiful tribe together, and everybody has something in common.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you feel like you're not alone. We share a lot of common struggles that,
Yeah.
a lot of us don't realize that other people are struggling with the same things.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the healing, I feel like the theme over the last few weeks has been a lot of self-love
Yeah.
and learning how to, reparent ourselves and heal our inner child and
Interesting, this
traumas.
reparent ourselves. Yeah, we never
Yeah.
hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been, I feel like that's been the common theme. Healing from traumatic relationships, and, that sort of thing has been
Mm-hmm.
another common
Yeah.
theme.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
So
mhm.
let's say that, and have you found since this lockdown a change in the people who come to you, the number or the type of people? Has there been an increase or a decrease? How did that develop?
There, there's definitely been an increase for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've had a really good turnout when I do my workshops
Mm-hmm.
in person at a yoga studio in town.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I feel like the interest, and everybody's home now.
Right.
I mean, now things are starting to open, but over that time people were home, um, and they had more time to turn inward and focus on themselves. I think the lockdown and the quarantine has, I mean, for a lot of us, been a blessing in
In
disguise, because we've been
disguise.
able,
Yeah.
I know it's like, obviously there's people that, it's been harder for, and
Yeah.
it's been
Who
hard
are
for
ill.
all of us.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is that it's forced us to
To
look
change.
inward and to
Yeah.
heal ourselves and to
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Mm-hmm.
focus on, like, face our stuff,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. Face our
And
stuff. Yeah.
yeah, so I think it's been, really tough on all
Mm-hmm.
of us, but those of us who've used this time to kind of
Face it.
focus and
Yeah.
face it and
Yeah.
be, courageous enough to
Yeah.
face it.
Yeah.
And I've been able to hold that space for everybody, and we hold the space for each other when we do the virtuals these last couple months.
Good.
So
Good.
yeah, it's been great.
Good. Let me see if I could open the floor to questions. Let me take a look. Let's see. Let's see. We have Vancouver, Canada here. We've got Dubai here.
Oh, wow.
We've got Miami Beach, Magna Sabre. We've got Fort Lauderdale, Del Weaver. Yeah. Tara
Nice.
Schreigler from Kentucky. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Um, Good. Let's see. Maryland is here. What about any questions? Do you have any questions? Or I'll just continue. We have Quebec here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. People are asking personal questions about their twin flames. We're not answering those. And we have here, if you can see, unrefined
Oh,
photography.
yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
love
one of my
Sophia.
best friends. That's Mitchie. She's like my little sister.
Okay. Um, okay. I've got this question. Tara Schreigler, how do you access the Akashic Records? That's a long question. It has nothing to do with our interview today. Um, that's a lot of work. Let's see,
Yeah.
from Hershey, Miami. Yeah. All right. A quick question. Sybil, let's see. Sybil Mwamba, a quick question. Do you see me getting pregnant? No, we're not going through personal questions. We're not going through personal questions.
Not
Let's
right now.
see. Let's see. No, we're not going through personal questions. Unrefined Photography asks, what got you started in your journey?
So what got me started on my journey, I would say was that traumatic experience that I went through. I was in an abusive relationship. It's actually my son's father.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I feel like that was the catalyst to
Yeah.
starting my healing journey. I've always been a spiritual person. I've always believed in the, law of vibration, the law of attraction, all of that. I've always been pulled to that. But I feel like when I went through that, life experience, that
Mm-hmm.
was really the catalyst that pushed me. And also, my son, of course,
Yeah.
pushed me on my healing journey. I always say that my son introduced me to me
Yeah.
when I had
Nice.
him. So
How old
that
is he?
he'll be 6 in July.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Interesting. Let's see if you have any questions. Let's see. What there are a lot of people who ask me, "What can I do to be able to heal someone else? Can I? Is it possible for me as a person, say an accountant or a secretary
Mhm,
or an executive or something? I
mhm.
want to start to help healing others." What would you answer that? How would you answer that? So let me first get, yeah, that's you
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So what I would first say is that we we can't heal others per se. I mean, we don't heal other people. What we do as healers
Yeah.
and as light workers, um, what we do is we activate the healing in others
Mm-hmm.
because we're all able to heal and we're all
Yeah.
able to heal ourselves. We have that within us. It's just, some of us have it's shut down, it's turned off,
Uh-huh.
and we're not aware of our true inner power. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like us as healers and light workers, it's kind of like we're here to awaken your own healing.
Okay.
Um,
All right. Now,
so
wait a minute. Let me stop you there
yeah,
because you said uh, uh, we're here to awaken others. Okay, so you did start talking about energy. It's all about energy, right?
right.
Now, what was it exactly that made you feel you had the ability to awaken others and the energetic potential to do that? Was it Sedona? Was it this? Was it that? Did you feel you did it with someone specifically? When was the first time it happened? You know?
Well, I mean, the first time it happened, I'd have to say was with my own self.
Yeah.
And when I came to realize that, it's like you want to scream on a mountaintop
Yeah.
and tell everybody, like, we can heal ourselves. There's such beauty and there's so much more
Mm-hmm.
to life than living, in a turmoil and internal chaos and stress. And,
Yeah.
there's that energy there and we have to tap into
Yeah.
it. And I feel like myself, that's when I first realized was when I really started healing myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then strangers, I would be out when I started on this journey. It was crazy because I would be out anywhere and I would have strangers coming up to me,
Mm-hmm.
telling me their whole life
Yeah.
story,
Yeah. That's the way it happens.
and
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't, and I would listen to them, of course. And, that's when I started noticing this pattern when I started this and I opened up that floodgate,
Yeah. Yeah. I
that people
haven't.
started being attracted
I
to me and
and that
telling
that is a
their,
key. That's a sort of a sign. I have a question here from Unrefined Photography. Do you see that? How do you
yeah.
stay strong even when the ego wants to pull you down?
So this is an interesting one because the ego is the ego. The ego is there, and it doesn't like when
Well, what is
when
the
we're on
ego?
this.
Can you give us a? I hate to ask you, but
Yeah, no, it's
yeah.
okay. I mean, it's a part of us, and the ego is there within us, and it wants to kind of instill fear in us and hold us back
Mm-hmm.
from our potential. And it kind of steps in situations where we know that we're going to do well in, or whatever it is. It kind of steps in to be like, nope, you're going to be scared. Come back, like come back to
Mm-hmm.
me. It's.
Mm-hmm.
So it's this internal struggle and internal battle with the ego to kind of push it down and
Yeah.
rise above it and kind of connect more with the higher self. Um, and it's kind of the death of the ego when you're going through the healing journey. And I would say how you say strong, I mean, we're always going to be on this healing journey. We're never going to be fully healed.
Right. It's a development, the
Yeah, it's a
process.
constant process. And I would say that we get better at dealing with quieting the ego, and we get the tools to be able to listen to our higher self more and connect more to that side than to be pulled by the ego.
There's there was a psychologist who said, I dare you. Go tell me where the ego is. Go find it when you can pinpoint it, and then, then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. I have another question. I'm not sure, but here we go. Kiwi Lover says, can you explain what Summerland is? Have heard that term, that some people go there when they I don't know. Can you elaborate on that? I've never heard of it.
No.
Okay.
Honestly, I've never heard of it. Sorry.
So maybe they're asking the wrong people. KB1, are you a twin flame? What's your view on this subject? This is a sort of a curveball for someone like you, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I believe in twin flames. I've experienced the twin flame phenomenon, if that's what you want to call it. I mean, it's a kind of a tough subject to kind of talk about, just because everybody has different experiences. So I feel like that would be a whole another
interview
to talk about. But yeah, I mean, we can talk about the runner and the chaser and the whole thing of it, and the twin flame. I mean, I do believe that when you meet them, because they mirror you, and it's like this intense connection, and they tend to be kind of explosive. But yeah, I mean, that's a whole nother.
Let's see. Juanita says, how do you heal from a bad relationship?
Yeah, so I mean, bad relationships, good relationships, whatever they are, they're always here to teach us a lesson. And if you're able to shift your mindset into the space of what that bad relationship taught you, you begin the healing. So once you're able to kind of pull yourself out and look at it from a different perspective and look down on it and say, instead of like, why did this bad, traumatic, toxic relationship happen to me? You change that narrative and you say, what did it do for me?
Right.
Because everything is here to teach us something, and it's all a part of our journey. So, and it's not to take away from the traumatic experience, but it's just to kind of find that silver lining and to see, what is it that this relationship taught me? Why did this person come into my life? What did I learn from it? Maybe it was there to kind of shake you up and teach you patience or self-love, or, there's always a lesson, and it's just asking those questions. And that kind of jumpstarts that healing from it. And you're able to get to have gratitude for that bad relationship.
I have here another question from Kiwi Lover. What are your favorite crystals to work with? Do you work with crystals?
I do. I love working with crystals. I have so many. It's insane how many crystals I have.
How many how many is too much?
I know. It's like, how many is too? There's never enough. My favorites are selenite would be my number one, just because that's a very cleansing stone crystal, and it cleanses your space. It brings in good energy. And I love rose quartz. I love amethyst. I love citrine.
I love citrine too. That is one of my favorites, citrine. I just love it. I love it. I love it.
I love lapis lazuli is one of my other favorites. The list goes on. I feel like when I do crystal work, like when I do my one-on-one sessions, sound journey sessions, chakra balancing with my clients, I always work with my crystals. I always place them on their chakra centers, and so I
Yeah.
love working with them. But I know I gave you a few, but
Yeah. Let's see. We have FKTM. Does the energy magnetic field in Sedona have an impact on on us? For example, for meditation, elevating your vibrations and so on.
for sure. I mean, Sedona is home to the energy vortex. You have the male vortex and the female vortex, um, or the masculine and the feminine. And when you go there, I try to explain it, but it's almost like you have to go there to experience it for yourself, because it's so amazing, and it elevates your
Yeah.
meditation. It elevates, everything. I mean, I always describe it as when you go in there, it's almost like a washing machine. You go
Mm-hmm.
in there, it's like on,
Yeah.
that high cycle
Yeah.
tumbling you, and then it spits you out, and you're just like renewed.
Yeah. And
So,
Tara says again, why do you know, if you know, why is Sedona a point for energy? Do you have
well,
any?
again, because it's home of one of the only, I mean, one of the energy vortexes in the whole world, and
Mm-hmm.
it's, and in this country, it's the only. I mean, I know we have a few,
Mm-hmm.
but Sedona's really the place to go into the energy vortex.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just, you go there, and the energy's so strong that the plants are actually swirled, like the
Mm-hmm.
trunk, the
Right.
trees, and but yeah, you go there to heal your masculine side and your feminine side, and
Mm-hmm.
every time you go, it's a different experience. I was just
Really?
there again at the end of February,
Oh,
and
interesting.
yeah, and it was a completely different experience from the first
From
time
the
I went
first.
in
Yeah.
2018. So yeah, it's crazy.
So now we're all home. Okay. You asked me before on the 18th, which is Monday, shops are open. We had last week, uh, we could go out in parks. Parks opened just here in Rome. And however, not until July 1st or June 1st will we be able to travel to another region. Okay, so I haven't seen my family for a while. But so let's say that we're home, and in the United States, it's different for every state. So we're all home. What could you suggest as sort of a daily practice for people to do as a, not as a habit, but as a daily practice, as a sort of, when you go brush your teeth, just like you brush your teeth, something you would do daily to help you
Yeah.
get a jump start.
So what I always recommend, and what I always talk about, especially during this chaotic time, it's really important for us to get centered and grounded. Um, and through that, when we wake up in the morning and we go to sleep at night before we go to bed, I always say it's so important to make a gratitude list.
Mm-hmm.
Gratitude is the key to grounding ourselves, and it's the key to actually becoming more present,
Mm-hmm.
which grounds us and it centers us.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that it's super helpful when you put that into your daily routine,
Mm-hmm.
kind of make it a nice ritual, make a list of the things that you're grateful for, even if it's a day where it's really hard to think of something to be grateful for. There's always something. It can be as simple as, sleeping in your comfortable bed that you have, or,
Mm-hmm.
you know, grateful for hot water, whatever it is. There's always something that you can think of to be grateful for. And as soon as you kind of shift into that mind frame,
Mm-hmm.
um, you start feeling lighter and more grounded. I also really truly believe in self-care. I feel like when we really love our bodies and honor our bodies, and feed it beautiful foods and just taking care of ourselves, I feel like that also grounds us. Even walking outside in nature. I mean, I've been walking more outside during this quarantine. I know we're supposed to be in our house, but we're allowed to walk outside. I
Mm-hmm.
take the dog out, walk him. It's been so nice to be outside and connecting, with nature, and it's very grounding.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would say, even baths, taking a
Mm-hmm.
salt bath, anything that's grounding to the earth is really
I would
good.
suggest for grounding, Labradorite. Labradorite, the
Yeah.
stone labradorite is really grounding. It's a heavy stone, but it's
Yeah.
really grounding. That is really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I have here Kiwi Lover. I'm not sure if this it would pertain to you. How old were you when you had your first paranormal experience? Did you have you ever had a paranormal experience?
Not, I mean,
This is not in your realm of work, in your line.
I mean, if they're saying
Sort of
paranormal,
out
like
of
if I've,
it could be out of body experience. It could be entering the spirit world. It could be the the awareness of a presence in your midst that is not a person who's
yeah,
alive.
I mean, I would say I did have one when I was, I think, 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Um, and it really freaked me out. And then I probably was closed off to that for many years. And then you know, it, yeah, I mean, I've had
What exactly
kind
was it,
of
if you don't
weird.
mind talking about it?
So I would see like figures at nighttime when I would be, I'd get up. This was when I was like 5 or 6, and I would get up and I would see shadows or figures
Yeah.
moving. Like I would see them and hear them, and it would just freak me out. And then when I was older at nighttime, I would have these like really lucid dreams
Yeah.
where I'm
Yeah.
awake and I'm trying to wake up, and I would feel something like pressing on me.
Yeah.
um, and I didn't quite understand what that was
Yeah.
at the time. I mean, those are the only really like paranormal that I
Yeah,
can
yeah, yeah,
think
yeah.
of.
That's an
Um,
age 5 or 6 is usually when something like that happens.
yeah.
That's when it happened to me for the first time. Let's see if there are any other questions. Let's see. Any other questions? Let's see. Well, what is your next stop? Where to after this? After the lockdown, and where perhaps you will get away from the virtual meditations, maybe, or expand on that. Do you have
Yeah.
in mind?
Well, actually, yeah, I'm actually going to keep doing them even after all
Hmm.
of this. I'm not going to stop doing them just because it's been nice to connect with people throughout the country and
Hmm.
out of the country. It's just been beautiful to have everybody on from all over, and
Hmm.
I think they want me to continue hosting them as well
Ah,
because they love it. I mean, everybody's had such great feedback and they look forward to it.
what is
So
a typical virtual session? How many people show up, for example?
I mean, it's been averaging around seven,
That's a good
eight
number.
people,
A good
which is a
number.
nice number because I feel like if it gets more, it might be a little
Yeah.
bit harder to let everybody speak.
What do you
And
use for as a platform for that?
Zoom.
Zoom. Yeah.
So I send out a Zoom invite the day of, and I also, everybody that signs up, the virtual meditations are $50, and you can sign up through Venmo.
Mm-hmm.
And it's at the Sofia Elena. And then when you sign up, I mail out these cute little
Mm-hmm.
healing bundles. You get some sage,
Mm-hmm.
a little kit with selenite
Mm-hmm.
and palo santo and sweet grass, and then you get a stone. So it
Mm-hmm.
can be a stone corresponding with our chakras. So it's a nice little
Mm-hmm.
kit to have. And then we do like a healing workshop after.
Mm-hmm.
I send out PDFs
Ah, okay.
to you. So,
Sort
yeah.
sort of data sheets. Tara is asking me, how can I tap into source energy?
So I would say you start by doing breath work.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when we really sit down quietly and start doing that breath work, get into our meditation, really get quiet and get with ourselves, and you're awakening that energy in your body. That kundalini energy is
Mm-hmm.
awakening, and it starts flooding your body, and you start connecting to the source energy. It's right there. It's literally like on the other side, and all we have to do to connect is
Mm-hmm.
have the intention
Tell me, wait,
and
I'll stop
get
you there.
quiet.
You mentioned Kundalini energy. Perhaps you can elaborate on that. A lot of people don't know what that is.
Yeah, so it's the life force energy that we have access to, and when we connect to source energy, we awaken that comes from the ground. It comes from the earth, and it just comes up, and it helps us clear our energy centers. So yeah, it's very accessible. As soon as you get quiet and you just set that intention, you're able to access that. And it
Okay.
helps with the breath work.
Unrefined Photography is asking, are you having a virtual session today?
I'm actually having one tomorrow. It's at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And again, you can sign up through Mindful Bliss Tribe. You can sign up at on Venmo.
Okay. And she goes on to suggest on the last session with Sofia, I had such an amazing out of body experience. It was amazing. Highly recommended for anyone listening. So you've got a fan there. You have a fan.
Yeah, that's the second, actually not the second. I've had a few people tell me when I'm doing these that because I'm able to get them to that point and connect to source energy and channel that energy through the virtual meditations, that I've had people tell me that they've had like that out of body experience
while they were there with you.
While they're doing it, virtually, which is incredible because again, energy is energy, and I'm just there as, just channeling that for you.
Yeah.
And helping you connect. Sometimes you need that.
And how long do they last?
They're from 7:30 to 9, but a lot of times it goes longer. I mean, we've stayed on these calls sometimes until 11, 12, just because we're all talking. We don't even realize the time. That's why I love these, because it's people love sharing what they're going through, and it's just very healing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, you've given us quite a lot to think about and bring home, really. So you could find Sofia Elena, a Mindful Bliss Tribe, through her Instagram, which is called Mindful Bliss Tribe. You'll find her. And is there anything else we need to know?
I mean, just follow me on Instagram, and you can keep updated on events, on workshops, my virtual workshops. And as soon as, we're able to kind of meet in person, you'll be able to see about that as well. And just, I post a lot of topics that people can connect with. So yeah.
Okay, so you hang on. I'm going to get rid of you now. Bye-bye, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
So everybody, thank you so much for joining us. And just wanted to say tomorrow, I think it's at the same time. I'm not sure. I think it is. There will be a healing video. There's going to be a healing live session all about healing. What is it? What kinds of healing there is. And so we'll talk about that tomorrow. Bye-bye, and thank you for joining me. Thank you for your support. Bye-bye. Be back tomorrow.